Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the Celtic Way. It is the pre-match show, Hearts versus Celtic at Tynecastle. It's first versus second, but it's a bit of a unique scenario in which Celtic aren't first. At the moment, it's Hearts. They are playing. They are the hunters rather than being hunted at the moment. My name is Ryan McGinley. Today, I'm delighted to be joined by Tony Haggerty, who's in situ at Tynecastle just now in the media room. Tony, how are you doing?
I'm very well, Ryan. I'm actually very up for this today. I said a word in midweek. I think it'll be gladiatorial. So bring it on, Ryan. And obviously we'll be discussing the team, a couple of big calls by the manager. So, yeah, let's do it.
Before we talk about the team, a quick word from our sponsors, and we really appreciate them sponsoring every video that we do, pre and post match, as well as the morning briefings as well. We are sponsored by It's Simply Furniture. You can see their logo just on the right hand side. They're located in Hillington, Glasgow. They're an independent brand and they're dedicated to bringing luxury and contemporary style into homes across the UK. With over a decade of experience in furniture retail, they meticulously source only the finest pieces, curated for quality, comfort and timeless design. From elegant sofas to statement dining sets, their hand-picked collections offer exceptional value without ever compromising on style. Their dedicated team ensures your furniture is delivered with care right to your doorstep, and if you want to see the beauty up close, visit their stunning showroom in Hillington and mention the Celtic Way for a special in-store discount. All of their links are in the description below this video. I'm just going to bring up the team straight away. Tony, we'll go through it from back to front or front to back, whatever way you want to say it. Casper Schmeichel in goals for Celtic, Colby Donovan, Dane Murray, Liam Scales and Kieran Tierney make up the back line, of course. Alistair Johnson and Cameron Carter-Vickers both suffered injuries against Sturm Graz, so they're out of the team. In come Colby Donovan, who played the vast majority of the game, really, at right back for Celtic on Thursday night. And Dane Murray comes in place of Cameron Carter-Vickers. A like-for-like replacement, maybe the same foot. He's got the same specialised foot as Cameron Carter-Vickers, that's why he's in there. The midfield three of Callum McGregor, the captain, he's joined by Arne Engels and Rio Hattati. Benjamin Negron plays on the right wing, we suspect. Sebastian Tynecastle on the left, and Johnny Kenny gets a start up front. He essentially got a start in the last match against Sturm Graz because Kelechi Iheanacho came off after only 4 minutes, so he's got a full game under his belt. But Tony, just looking at that team, what's your thoughts?
What a vote of confidence he's given to likes of Colby Donovan, Dane Murray and Johnny Kenny. All young guys, but what a game to go and, showcase your wares, showcase your talent. And if the manager thinks you're good enough to play in this game and select you for the first team for a start, then you have to go out and perform, Ryan. There is no hiding place today. It's going to be blood and thunder. And I think a lot of the time with these younger guys, there's no fear there, Ryan. I think the manager has to stress that to them today. Go out there and play with no fear. They're good enough. Yes, circumstances have made Celtic or forced Rodgers' hand a bit with this starting 11. But the guys have been given the nod, so go out there and do your utmost and try and secure an excellent result for Celtic today. And I think they'll want to prove a point, these guys as well.
Yeah, it's a change. Some couple of changes in the back line. Dane Murray coming in. It's a massive opportunity for the 22-year-old defender today. It's probably one of the stiffest tests of his young career so far. Maybe even going back to the game that he played against Midtjylland when he was just a teenager coming into the first team. But this is a massive game today for Dane Murray, and an opportunity that maybe he's been waiting for a wee while. So it's up to him to show that he's up to the task of replacing a mammoth defender in Cameron Carter-Vickers despite his form this season.
I spoke to Callum Davidson earlier in the season, Ryan, and he assured me that Dane Murray will play for Scotland one day. That's how highly he rates him. He had him at Queen's Park, said he was dominant in the air, said he could read a game excellently, and his passing could be on point at times as well. So I want to see all those characteristics today from Dane Murray, because he looks the part as a defender. He looks as if he's been doing weight training and bulked up. And it's a massive opportunity for him today. And I was mindful of those comments that Callum Davidson said to me just prior to coming on air when I saw that Dane Murray was in the team. So these are the things I'll be looking out for from Dane Murray today. But as I say, the manager's clearly given him that vote of confidence alongside a couple of others. just go and do what the manager tells you and be solid and keep Hearts out if you can.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just going to name the subs because I was so focused on the starting lineup and the changes that have been made that I forgot to name the subs. I'll name them for you all. Viljami Sinisalo, Austin Trusty, Michel Ange Balikwisha, Luke McCowan, Shin Yamada comes back into the side, into the subs bench, Paulo Bernardo, Marcelo Sarace, James Forrest and Tony Ralston. Just looking at that team again, Tony, where is the game going to be won for Celtic today if they are going to win this game?
Midfield three are crucial again, Ryan. If the midfield three can function like anything like they did on Thursday night, then Hearts could be in bother as well. We know Hearts pose a real threat, but I think Celtic, if Arnott Engels can do what he did on Thursday night, I think there might be lots of joy for the likes of Negrin as well. And Johnny Kenny was in the end of some chances the other night and failed to take them. Maybe today, Ryan's the day when the worm turns for Johnny Kenny, and I would love to see him get a goal, get those confidence levels up, because everybody said he gets into position and stuff like that. But you are judged as a Celtic striker by your end product, Ryan, and he has to produce an end product today.
No successful Celtic striker has not been able to score goals, if you get me. All good Celtic strikers score goals. That's why you're remembered at the club. The ones that don't score goals at Celtic don't last at the club.
But they're also remembered for not scoring goals, Ryan.
Very true. And I don't want to
notoriety, and again, people would pick out names like Cascarino, things like that. They might even add Adam Ida's name to that list, but Adam Ida did score goals for Celtic. But so stuff like that. People remember you for not scoring goals.
Celtic as well, Tony.
Yeah, people remember you for not scoring goals as well.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to bring up Hearts' team against Celtic because they're hardly making any changes to the teams at all. They're keeping more or less the same 11, which is a strength in itself, and the fact that they're getting points as well is a real plus for them. They're top of the league. They're 5 points clear at the moment. If they get a win today, as a nightmare scenario as it sounds, Hearts could go 8 points clear of Celtic today, which is what's at stake, unfortunately, for Celtic today. So the Hearts team is Swallow, McEntee, Halkett, Findlay, Kingsley, Milne, Devlin, Beningame, Kizaridis, Braga and Shankland. We've watched Hearts all season, Tony. I think we've all been keeping a little eye out on what Hearts have been doing under the Jamestown analytics, under Tony Bloom's investment, under Derek McInnes's management. They're danger men of those two wingers, aren't they? Kizaridis and Braga. There's goals aplenty, and Lawrence Shankland's a veteran now. There's goals all over their team. Yeah,
they've impressed the most, haven't they? The duo that you mentioned, Kizaridis and Braga, and
especially Kizaridis in recent weeks, I would say.
And you look at that back line, and you think if there's a fragility and a vulnerability there, those guys might exploit it. But you're hoping that the likes of Colby Donovan, Dane Murray, will pass this test with flying colours. It's a huge test for both teams, Ryan. It's a massive game for both teams for vastly different reasons. The narrative was if Celtic lose their next 3 games, starting with Sturm Graz, the pressure would be heaped on the manager. Let's flip that narrative, Ryan. Celtic are well capable of winning all 3 games. Hearts today, Rangers next week. And on Thursday night, the second half gave you grounds and hopes for optimism that actually could happen. We know that Hearts are on top of the league on merit. Can they apply that scoreboard pressure, Ryan, and go 8 clear and put real daylight between Celtic and themselves? That's a pressure in itself, leading from the front. Normally they're the hunter, as you said at the start. Celtic are now doing the hunting, and sometimes that sharpens the mind and it focuses the brain on today. And I think that Celtic will raise a gallop today, Ryan. Just something inside me. I got a feeling that this will be Celtic's best performance of the season.
I hope you're right, Tony. I hope you're right. Just on the atmosphere that you're going to experience today at Tynecastle, it's going to be rowdy, it's going to be noisy, and the crowd are going to be up for this game. Do you think that puts pressure not just on Celtic, but on Hearts as well? Because there's a little bit of an expectancy coming into this game that Hearts will challenge Celtic today. Do you think that's maybe potentially a factor in what could transpire at Tynecastle today?
I look at it, Ryan, and say big game experience might come into play here. Celtic have got a few players in that lineup who've got big game experience. Not saying that Hearts don't, but this is Hearts' biggest test of the season. Can they really match the hype? Can they raise their game to such levels to beat the champions? you say that people say they've not had a test. This is a Hearts team that's gone to Ibrox and won. Celtic couldn't do that. But this is a different test altogether for them. As you say, that expectancy's there now. They have the crowd on the side. They have partisan crowd who are going to be right behind their team. As I said, I used the word gladiatorial. It's going to be pretty epic. But you've got a lot of players in that Celtic team who have been over the course and distance before, and it will be up to them to stress to the likes of Donovan and Murray and Kenny what this is all about. And I think they can do that. That's why I've got a gut feeling that you'll see a different Celtic today. Certainly a different Celtic that turned up at Dens Park last weekend.
Yeah, I'm just having a look at the other fixtures that are taking place today. Scottish Premiership, Aberdeen versus Hibs, Rangers versus Kilmarnock. A couple of Premier League games taking place. I know El Clasico's on later, but certainly in the UK, I can't think of a bigger fixture today than Hearts versus Celtic. I think there'll be a lot of neutrals watching this game today, so I'm hoping it's a good advert for Scottish football. I'm just hoping that at the end of that advert, Celtic are on top and they've managed to claw the gap to 2 points. Then it really is game on between now and the end of the season. But there is pressure. There's pressure on both sides, different pressures, which is very interesting. It's an interesting dynamic going into this game. I would say that there's always pressure on Celtic going to Tynecastle anyway, just due to the slight rivalry between the two sides. There's certainly more of a rivalry this season, but just in years gone by, there has been a rivalry between the two sides. And the fact that where Celtic are in the league at the moment is that it's their own doing. It's unfortunately, not getting the winner against Hibs, dropping points or losing against Dundee has got them into this situation, and they've been offered a quick return, a quick opportunity and a chance to claw that back by impacting on the team that are at the top of the table at the moment. That's got to be the aim today. As much as I was talking about maybe today's a must not lose for Celtic, if Celtic can go and win this game today, then go and try and do it. If the opportunities present themselves today, which I'm sure they will get, because Hearts will be open, Hearts will want to make things happen in the top end, which will leave spaces at the back. Celtic have got to go for the win here. I think if they go out and try and play for a draw, which I don't think they will, by the way, if they do that, then they're more at risk of getting beat in the game. I think they've got to go and win it today.
I'm thinking of nothing else other than the Celtic win, Ryan. I think Thursday night would have given them the confidence and belief that they can play, create, score, which had been sadly lacking up until the second half on Thursday night. So as I say, you have to take the fill up and the confidence from that and really show. I think Callum McGregor said it last week, you need to go to Tynecastle and show why you're champions. And as I say, I'm not basing it on league form thus far. I'm just basing it on what I saw on Thursday night, and I've just got a gut feeling that the real Celtic are going to turn up today. So this for me is a must win, not entertaining any other thoughts than winning this football match. I don't know how you play for a draw. People say I'll take a point of a win and roll with that. Nah, not for me. I want to see a Celtic team come out all guns blazing and really go for it and see what happens. And if we lose to a better team, then so be it. You'll dust yourself down and just think Hearts are having a moment in time or a purple patch, but call it what you like, but they're here to stay in terms of the title challenge. You'll have to accept that if Celtic lose this match today.
Yep. Guys, get your predictions in the comments and we'll try and read out as many as we can. Tony, I'll ask you for your prediction in a wee bit as well, so get your mind thinking about how you see today transpiring, maybe what you hope and maybe what you expect in the game as well. You can give me a multitude of predictions if you want, so be it. There was comments before the game. The thing about the short turnaround between Sturm Graz and Hearts is that a lot of players will speak in the mix zone after a game, and they'll be talking about the Sturm Graz game, but they'll also be talking about the upcoming game as well, just due to the short turnaround, that Thursday to Sunday. Sebastian Tynecastle spoke at length. I believe those quotes went out. Was it Friday? Friday at 6 o'clock. Tony, you wrote them up.
Yes.
We also had Johnny Kenny yesterday. We had James Forrest on Friday as well, and they all signified, or they all emphasised how massive a game this is for Celtic. In the case of Tynecastle, now I know we could talk about Johnny Kenny and how he could be the match winner today because he's the striker leading the line. But in terms of a spark, I can't think of any other players that have really had a spark in the team like Tynecastle this season. Coming up against good wide players in Casaridis and Braga, Is there an onus on Tynecastle to bring that out ball for Celtic as well today, being the only natural winger in the team due to Benjamin Negrin playing out of position? Is there an onus on him to deliver in the wide areas today?
Huge for Celtic to do tonight. He has to help create chances and try and provide assists for the likes of Negrin and Johnny Kenny up front, or even add to his own goal tally as well. I'm looking for Tynecastle to be alongside the likes of Kazaridis and Braga, the star of the show today, and really take the game by the scruff of the neck. People have clocked on to the fact that Tynecastle is quite a skillful, talented footballer, and they've double teamed him. It remains to be seen if Hearts do that, but he has to learn to live with that, Ryan. That's Scottish football for you, and he's going to be a marked man because he showed a lot of promise in his early Celtic career. So people are marking him out as a danger man. But if they mark him out as a danger man, it leaves space for others to exploit. And I'm looking at the likes of Arnie Engels, I'm looking at the likes of Johnny Kenny, I'm looking at the likes of Negrin to do what they did the other night. If they bring that A game, Ryan, that they did the second half the other night, Hearts are in a game here because Celtic do have quality and players that can hurt Hearts. We know Hearts have had a flying start to the season, but don't underestimate Celtic quality.
Yeah, do you think that's maybe why Brendan Rodgers is continuing to persevere with Rio Hatate, because he's had those good experiences at Hearts before? Remember him making one of his first appearances for Celtic, putting it in the back of Craig Gordon's net with a thunderbolt. I'm going to say thunderbolt because there's other choice words that would get us off the air at 11:10 this morning, but you know what we're all talking about, and I think that very much fit the bill of that sort of goal and that description. There's other players that have delivered against Hearts. Callum McGregor's delivered, Kieran Tierney's delivered against Hearts as well in years gone by. So there's players that Celtic can rely on in this fixture, and it is a big fixture between two good teams. But is that maybe the reason why he's persevering with especially Rio Hatate, because he knows what is required in this game?
Yeah, I think Rio Hatate's got the nod because of that big game experience that I alluded to earlier, Ryan. He's been there, seen it and done it in terms of his Celtic career, and you rightly referenced his howitzer that he scored early on in his Celtic career. I mean, that went in like a bullet. I was there that night, and even in slow motion when you saw it, it was travelling. So, and I saw it in real time, and it was some strike. We know Rio Hatate's got that quality to carve a team open with a pass, and I say he's been given the benefit of the doubt by the manager. I thought the other night, and I think you agreed, that he came onto a game alongside the other two midfielders on Thursday night. Wasn't great, but he came onto a game, he raised his game and he finished it strongly. So I think that's uppermost the manager's thoughts. Again, that continuity with that midfield and say, right, the way you finished the game on Thursday night, that's the way you have to play at Tynecastle. He will have stressed that to them, Ryan. And Rio Hatate, when he's on it, Ryan, can be a vital cog for Celtic. But we can't have him reverting to type this season and being anonymous and a wasted jersey, which he has been for large parts of this season campaign so far.
That's my worry, Tony. That's my worry, because he doesn't hide in games. He's either very good or very bad in games, and he cannot afford to be bad today, because Hearts, with Beningame, with Devlin, they will be looking to intercept the ball as quickly as possible and get it to their wide men. He cannot dilly-dally on the ball today. No. That's got to be the aim. He's got to focus. He's got to make things happen. He's got to be speedy with his play, and he's got to stay concentrated for the full game and not get too emotional, not get too... The last thing you want is him to put in a bad tackle and him getting sent off in the game. Not that I'm saying that's going to happen, but it's that sort of game today. They've got to keep their heads on. They've got to keep a lid on it today and focus. Play the game, not the occasion, and they should be fine. If they play the game and play to their strengths, we know that Celtic can hurt Hearts, but it's the same it's vice versa. Hearts can hurt Celtic given the way that they've started this season. Just the bench players, Tony. Celtic have got some options that can come off the bench today. Balaquisha, who I thought did really well when he came on against Sturm Graz on Thursday night. Luke McCowan has got a goal in him. Shin Yamada is coming back into the team. Paulo Bernardo, Sirachi and Ralston for defensive options, as well as Trusty and James Forrest, who's scored a couple of goals versus Hearts in his long career at Celtic. Just on Shin Yamada, Tony, he's back in the side. He's really Celtic's only striking option if you're going to play a player in his position. How much of an onus is on him to deliver today if he's given the chance to come off the bench? It's a real opportunity for him. It's a sliding doors moment, and one that he's got to take if he is called upon.
I think it's a sliding door moment for two players. Johnny Kenny, and Shin Yamada. I think Johnny Kenny will get an hour to see what he's made of. And if it's not happening and needs must, then I think you'll see Shin Yamada. As I say, the manager spoke a lot about speed, didn't he, the other night after the game? How you wanted, and I thought with that he might have gone with Shin Yamada to start. But this is a huge, as I say, vote of confidence in Johnny Kenny. And those young guys you were talking about that need to keep the head. I include all the young guys in that: Colby Donovan, Dane Murray, Johnny Kenny, Shin Yamada. If he comes on, they will need to keep the head because the conditions are ripe for, the ball bouncing off you, sliding away, sliding challenges. Don't do anything rash in or outside your box because, you will be punished. And lots of people thinking that the conditions are conducive for red card, penalties, free kicks, all that sort of thing. You need to guard against that. You need to really switch on and be mature about your approach to this game. Can't have any of the players doing anything rash. And I felt the other night the chance that Johnny Kenny got, he didn't let it happen naturally, kind of snatched at things. A more composed striker would have helped Celtic to a 4 or 5-1 victory the other night, Ryan. So Johnny Kenny has to just say to himself today, the manager's trusting me, I need to relax on it here. And if the chances come my way, then I need to be clinical. I need to really be in that mental frame of mind that I'm going to make a difference today. Because if not, you will have somebody like Shin Yamada who's champing at the bit to be let loose. And I think a lot of Celtic supporters want to see what Shin Yamada has. And I think he might get some minutes today, Ryan.
Due to the fact he's an unknown quantity as well, I'm just going to bring in some of the the score predictions. Tony, I'll get yours in a wee minute. PK says Kenny hat-trick, 5-1 to Celtic. Would take that all day and then twice on Sunday today. 6-6 Kev 1 says 3-1 to Celtic with 4 Clovers on there as well. Alan Hughes says 2-1 to Celtic. Brian Johnson has went into a time machine, 1 each, Burley and Katongo. I think that's 30 years back, Tony. That was more your neck of the woods than mine. Although I'm aware of those two players.
I think it was actually McNamara and Katongo that scored that day. If that's the game he's referring to, on each at Tynecastle with the infamous 6 minutes of added time, which referee Bobby Tate allegedly played. I was at that, Ryan. But there you go. I remember that.
Famous namesake David Turnbull comes into the chat and says 2-1 to Celtic. Tynecastle with the winner. I want a big Tynecastle moment, I'll be honest, Tony. I'd really want something to really not kickstart his Celtic career, but I think that the Celtic support are desperate for a star. They want a star, a new hero in this team, and I think he fits the bill. I think the way that he speaks, the way that he operates, the way that he posts on social media, everything is just tailor-made for a new Celtic hero. I'm hoping that today's the day that can be the case. Dennis Jameson, 3-2 to Celtic. Hazel Finn, 3-1 to Celtic. Helen Feeks, tick 2 to Hearts 1. And Brian Johnson then comes in once again. It says, Big Tony for Director of Football. I'm going to pass it over to the
Very
Celtic Ways Director of Football. What will the score be today, Mr. Haggerty?
I'm going to go for a high-scoring affair, Ryan. I'm going to say 3-2 Celtic. I think there's goals aplenty in this. And I think what you're talking about with Tynecastle, we're looking for a Scott Sinclair, Paddy Roberts type moments. They had their moments at Tynecastle, didn't they? Both of those wingers in particular. So I'm looking, I'm with Thomas John on that. I'd be happy if
they... That's the wrong one I clicked to.
I think, that would be excellent too, Ian. But I would take any kind of win, but I just feel that there's goals in this. And I just feel that this could be the launch pad for Celtic to domestically to ramp it up.
Yep. We're also getting some opposition fans in the comment section. 4-0 to Hearts. There's a confident Hearts fan in the comment section. Enjoy the game today. Hopefully it's a good game between two good sides, but at the same time,
good on him. Thanks for watching.
I'm hoping that Dale is very disappointed at full time with the
result. He's very wrong,
yeah, absolutely. Tony, anything else that you want to speak about before we head off? I know it's been a bit of a longer show today, but I think that the fixture deserves that, given the importance of the game this season. It's the biggest game of the season, biggest game in Scotland so far this season.
The occasion merits it, Ryan. The big build-up, just hope that the action can live up to the hype. But big calls by the Celtic manager, Brendan Rodgers. We will find out in the fullness of time whether he picked the right team. this week, Ryan, or not?
We await with bated breath on how that goes, how things transpire this afternoon in the capital city at Tynecastle. It's Hearts versus Celtic. It is a 12 o'clock kick-off, so 40 minutes to go until kick-off. I hope everybody's looking forward to the game. Should be a good game between two good sides. A quick shout out once again and a big thank you to It's Simply Furniture for sponsoring this video. All of their links are in the description. Tony, thank you very much for joining me. There'll be instant analysis on the site. There'll also be player ratings from the game, get them as close to full time as possible, and we'll be back after the game at some point once the press conferences are done to speak about Celtic's result, win, lose or draw against Hearts this afternoon at Tynecastle. Tony, thank you very much for joining me today.
Pleasure, appreciate it, Ryan. Thanks a lot. Speak to you soon, eh?
And thanks to everybody for joining us on the show. We'll see you after the game. Enjoy the game, and fingers crossed that Celtic pick up 3 points in the capital city of Edinburgh. Thanks guys, and we'll see you after the game.